what's your favorite book?
I would say my favorite book is The Catcher in the Rye.
I'd say probably Principles by Ray Dalio.
What is the book about?
So the storyline, it's from a male perspective. I read the book when I was in 10th grade, so it's been a while. But all I can remember is that Holden Caulfield is the main character, and he was quite a depressed person. And it was basically following his life and just seeing the world from his perspective.
Yeah, so it's split into two chapters. It's split into sort of his rules for life, his principles for life, and his principles for work.
Is there something that you've learned from the book, or perhaps maybe inspired?
Maybe to look at life from different outlooks. I remember Holden really loved his sister, so they had a really nice bond. And I have a brother that's 11 years older, so I guess what I took from that is, cherish your family, enjoy your moments, and don't be depressed.
Yeah, so I studied finance, and a lot of what his book is about, like sort of setting rules for life and making sure that you don't act too emotionally, and how you can be most optimal in life in ways that like, help you at work as well as in personal life. And I think obviously the fact that he's one of the most successful hedge funds managers ever, sort of definitely see him as a sort of mentor.
Yeah, so would you recommend the book to others?
Yeah, definitely. And the funny thing is that my teacher, my English teacher in Lithuania, she told me that this book is more for boys.
Yeah, sure. Even people who aren't in finance, like, definitely have stuff to learn from you.
My favorite book is one called The Universe in Your Hands by Christoph Goldhardt.
My favorite book is probably 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel.
So it basically talks about the universe in a bit of a childish way, which helps you understand it better. And it goes into general relativity to quantum mechanics, which are some subjects that sounds a bit too big to understand, but it explains really good.
The book is about how Peter kind of like was one of the co-founders of PayPal and what he learned and how basically he got PayPal off the ground.
So what I mainly learned is the universe is much broader than we thought. There's so many things that we still don't know about it. So it makes you feel a bit more smaller in a really big world. And yeah, it just opens your perspective to look at it another way, everything.
What really inspired me about the book was that it kind of taught me that big ideas just really had to come off the ground. And a lot of it had to come off like from basically 0 to 1. Whereas I think previously a lot of like misconceptions about startups and my admiration towards them and how they got from like, you know, nothing to everything was that it had to be like this grand idea, but a lot of startups just really have to make that first step great in order to become something even greater after that.
So would you recommend the book as well?
Definitely, I would. People already asked me and they loved it as well. So I would definitely recommend it to any reader, any type of reader. You don't have to like know anything about it. You would definitely understand it and enjoy it.
Yeah, totally would. It was a really good read.
There are several books that I actually like, but I guess my favorite book is called The Lost Symbol. It's by Dan Brown.
La part de l'autre. It's a French book from Éric Emmanuel Schmitt,
which is about symbolism, history, some sort of art history also, something that I really like.
Yeah, so it talks about like Hitler and what could have been the world if he would have gone into the art school that he wanted to go to. And so like he thinks that the world would have been very different, and what it shows is that like all the small actions that you do can have a great impact on the world.
I would say in general I'm someone who tries to go with open eyes through the world, and this book, although it's fiction, helped me to better understand like some sort of symbolism, like in Washington DC, where it's set, better understand the monuments there, its history, and it inspires me to travel actually.
I think it's to not stop on the negative things of people, because I think everyone has a positive side. I'm not saying that Hitler has like a positive side and is a good person, of course, but like maybe in every person there are small things that we can try to understand and we can think about how we can change it.
Would you recommend it to others?
I would, yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good book.
My favorite book is Where the Crawdads Sing.
It's the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society.
It's about a girl growing up in the marsh swamps of Louisiana, and she's from a really poor family, and it's about her love for the natural environment and how her story unfolds in that part of the world and the struggles of that part of the world.
It's more of a romantic story of this girl who is a writer and moves to Guernsey to talk to a really weird society that's been formed during the Second World War by these people who are trying to escape the Nazis. And then she finds one of the readers and completely changes her life. and finds happiness on Guernsey.
Is there something that you've learned from the book, or perhaps maybe inspired?
Just appreciate where you are, learn from nature. There's so much to learn from it. And yeah, just every little thing around you is important to some extent, and just appreciate it.
What I learned from the book is that happiness is not necessarily where you think it is. So she changed her lifestyle completely. She changed her aspirations completely. And she just followed her instincts, and that led her to somewhere where she could truly be happy.
Would you recommend it to others?
Definitely.
I would, yeah, read it, guys. We're the good at it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.